Good morning. We're going to call the Highway and Building Committee meeting for Thursday, September 14th, 2017 to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. McConnell.
Present.
Mr. Tripp.
Present.
Mr. Legess. Mr. Vickery. Mr. Olthoff. Ms. Polk. Mr. Mulcahy.
Present.
Mr. Hildebrand. Mr. Einfeld.
Present.
Ms. Weber.
Present.
Ms. Evans. Ms. Peters. Ms. Parker.
Present.
Mr. Ritter.
Present.
Mr. Kinzinger.
Present.
Mr. Wheeler. Mr. Lear. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any? I didn't have any cards for public comment. Are there any public comments that need to be out there? Okay, you've had the minutes sent to you, and you have a copy of them probably in your emails. So I need a motion to approve the minutes of August 10th, 2017. Mr. Olthoff and Mr. Legess. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Mark, Mr. Rogers,
Okay, we have a garage set up to.
are you ready to go with that?
Yeah.
Okay, we have some bid lettings. I need a motion for Mr. Rogers to open the bids, Mr. Tripp and Mr. Einfeld. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Okay, you're good to go. Thank you for the cheat sheet. There's bid lettings for the sale of our used or surplus equipment, so there's going to be quite a bit of them here. We have some real quality stuff here we want to sell. And a quality price. Premium price. Premium price. Buy low, sell high. Well, most of them will bid on one or two of these items. You know, you got.
Can't bid on.
No, I say most of them will bid on one or two of these items instead of all of them. Might be a conflict of interest. Don't forget, you people are on mics. Real quick. Why was opening them up? It was my fault. Mr. Kinzinger, welcome to our board. We look forward to your expertise in many, many areas, and thank you for your willingness to serve.
All right. Good morning. This is our annual sale of our surplus equipment. I think there were 3 resolutions for surplus equipment brought to the Highway Committee. This is the result of those 3 resolutions. So, first bid I have is from Rockville Township Road District. They're bidding on item number 2, the single axle truck. And their bid is $26,900. $26,900. Bidding on item number 3, $250. $250. And that's it for Rockville Township. Next is Kankakee Valley Construction. Bidding on item number 2, $4,000. Bidding on item number 14, $50. Item number 14 is $50. Item number 15, $50. Item number 16, $100. Item number 22, $25. Item number 23, $25. Turn your page over. Item number 24, $25. And that's all for them. Next is Richard Wilken. Wilken. Item number 1, $1,500. Item number 2, $1,500. Item number 8, $1,500. And that's all for him. Next is Steve Emme, E-M-M-E. Item number 1, $2,137.11. $2,137.11. Item number 2, $7,777.27. 777.27. Item number 8, $495. Going to item number 27. $41. Item number 28, $31. And item number 29, $31. I have no name on this one. I don't know which envelope it was. They have to sign it anyway. So. Next is Mike Watson. Bidding on item number 1, $4,177.00. $4,177. And item number 31, $22. Item number 31, $22. Next is David Kirkpatrick. Did you say that's a 1 or a 7?
Oh, that's a good question. It looks to me. Looks to me like it'd be a 7, but I would clarify that. Go
Yeah.
1, for 1, he'd come all the way across, I would think.
I think.
We'll have to clarify that.
Okay. What? Oh, it's a 7? Okay. Thank you. His bid is 7,000.
Which item?
Item number one, $7,805.00. $7,805.00. Item number 8, $250. $250. And nothing else. Next is Roy's Big O Trucks. Roy's Big O Trucks. Item number 1, $750.00. Item number 2, $5,200.00. Item number 4, $100. Item number 6, $25. Item number 10, $5. Item number 12, $10. And that's all.
That's all the bids, though.
No, for him.
Oh, for him, yeah.
Next is Kankakee Township Road District. Item number 1, $10,251.00. $10,251.00. And that's it. Next is Patrick O'Connor. He's bidding on item number 31. $12. And last is Jim Lamore. And he's bidding on the bookshelf, 31, $22.50. $22.50.
Prices, right.
Okay, is that it?
Is this your bid? He said he turned in 3 bids this morning.
Somebody came to know, and I was at home, and Andy didn't get them. We got them. We didn't get them.
Who are they giving?
That's the one where I was not up there and Becky did not get them. Let me go up there and look. real quick.
Okay.
Are they giving to a person or? Yeah, they're giving to a lady.
This morning.
This morning, you know, that's great.
Well, we'll
It's not the
take
one with
a-
no name in it.
It's not the one with no name? No? Okay.
Okay. We'll take about a 2-minute recess, and then we'll move on. So we need to close this out or whatever. No, okay. Yeah, we can be fair with them, sure. I'd move on, but they would have to come back and can't do that. So county engineers are next, for pay requests.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wait a minute, what number, Jim's got you blocked there?
What?
10? Yes, sir.
In that we have a 2-minute recess. I noticed we have Rockville Township and the Kankakee Township Road District both bidding on this stuff. Do we work together in any way? Should we offer this equipment to them ahead of a bid, or that's not, there's laws you can't do that?
I thought about that too, can't do that?
We send out we send this out, the proposal out to them in advance, but they all bid on it the same way we do, that everybody else
Is there a
does.
law that says we have to do it that way?
I would have to check, but it would be up to the county board how we do it.
Chairman Wheeler.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the record, could you read in the stamp when those were received, just to have it be above, on what you just were handed, those bids?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, just the time for the
Received September 14th.
okay. We just want to make sure for the record.
Do you have an answer for Mr. Kinziger?
I didn't hear the question. I apologize.
The question was, do we offer these to local government agencies before we put them on the open letting for the public?
I don't think so.
I don't
think it goes
know that
all
we
out at
can.
once. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we can.
Yeah,
Can we can check on it. I don't have the answer for that either.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll check on it. Good question. Yeah, good question. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. These were stamped, by the way, at what time?
There's no time.
There's no time on it. It was,
Well, they were,
He said
they were
around
up,
8
they were
o'clock.
up there, so.
next is, I'm going to go to the next page. Next is Matt Cole, K-O-L-E. He's bidding on item number 8. The Impala for $707.00. And item number 23, $10. And that's it. Next. Next is Yellowhead Township. He's bidding on item number 2. $18,743.00. $18,743.00. Item number 3. $150.05. $150.05. And item number 4, $328.03. $328.03. Okay. And last. Glenn Hoekstra. All right, item number 12. $8. $8. Item number 13, $8. Item number 14, $4. Item number 15, $4. Item number 16, $4. Item number 17, $1. Item number, let's see. Right here. I'm sorry, no, item number 17 is $4. Item number 18 is $1. Item number 19, $1. And item number 20, $1. Yes, that's it.
Okay. Okay, we received all that. I need a motion to accept these as read and then approved. Mr. Einfeld, second by Mrs. Polk. Any discussion? All in favor, Mr. Kinziger?
Could we modify that to say, accept those when reviewed by make sure everything's in order?
I just said that.
No, you said as read.
Well, I meant as approved then. You
Okay,
didn't read my
thank you.
mind. Yes, we do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As approved. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, county engineer pay estimates.
Okay, I have a few pay estimates this morning. The first one is for our county general maintenance for 2017, supplement 3, payable to Grasso Construction Company. This is for oil and chip work that's been done in the county on county highways. That amount is $4,213.52. Next is for our county general maintenance for 2017, payable to Kankakee Valley Construction Company. This is for hot mix picked up at the plant with our trucks. That amount is $460.20. Next is for our county general maintenance 2017, payable to Prairie Material Sales. This is for road mix picked up with our trucks at the quarry. That amount is $858.88. Next is for our county general maintenance for 2017, payable to Vulcan Materials. This is for road mix picked up at the quarry with our trucks. That amount is $30,329.19. You'll notice that's a little bit higher than it has been in months past, but we've been doing a lot of shoulder work here. Next is Roma Township Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grace Materials Service. This is for oil and chip work that's been done on the township, and that amount is $42,523.86. Next is for St. Anne Road District for their 2017 general maintenance supplement 1 payable to Grace Materials Service for oil and chip work done in St. Anne. That amount is $41,281.30. Next is Janier Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grasso Construction Company for oil and chip work done in the township. That amount is $37,037.21. Next is Mantino Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grasso Construction Company. That amount is $147,807.64. Next is Momence Township Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grasso Construction Company for oil and chip work done in the township. That amount is $69,784.72. Next is Sumner Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grasso Construction for oil and chip work done in the township. That amount is $106,301.72. Next is Yellowhead Township Road District for their 2017 general maintenance payable to Grasso Construction Company, and that amount is $107,383.80. Next is Outer Road District for their 2017 general maintenance supplement 1 payable to Vulcan Materials. That amount is $227.82. Next is Norton Road District, section 08-09-106-01-BR, payable to Reber Construction. This is for bridge work that was done in the township, and that amount is $54,617.87. And last is our county bridge section 13-00300-00-BR non-MFT. This is a final pay estimate to Toby's Construction and Cartage. That was for the bridge on 7,000 North by Grant Park, and that amount is $32,746.57.
Okay, I need a motion to accept them as presented by Mr. Rogers, Ms. Parker, Mr. Jess. Any discussions? Any discussions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Oh, I'm sorry, this is roll call. We're spending money.
Mr. McConnell?
Aye.
Mr. Tripp? Aye. Mr. Lejes? Mr. Olthoff? Ms. Polk? Mr. Mulcahy? Mr. Einfeld? Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker? Mr. Ritter? Mr. Kinzinger? Mr. Wheeler? Motion carries.
Okay. We have a couple of resolutions before you, and the first one is for the Sergeant Will Lewis Drive. And I've asked Chief Johnson to come forward with Debbie if they want to, or Debbie, Lori, and read this into the record and then explain how we got to this. Thank you.
Good morning. I have the great pleasure of being here today because I'm the chairperson of the Police and Fire Commission for the Village of Bradley. So on behalf of Chief Johnson, I'm going to read the resolution into the record. Resolution of the County Board of Kankakee County, Illinois. Resolution declaring a portion of Armour Road, CH 44, the honorary street name of Sergeant Will Lewis Drive in the Village of Bradley. Whereas the County Board of the County of Kankakee has the authority to name or change the name of any road in the county highway system under its jurisdiction, according to 55 ILCS 5/5-1067, and whereas Armour Road, also known as CH 44, is under the jurisdiction of the County of Kankakee, east of Illinois Route 50, and whereas Sergeant Wilford Ray Lewis, a police officer, gave his life in the line of duty on November 20th, 1997, while serving on the Bradley Police Department, where he has served for 22 years. And whereas it has been requested to declare an honorary road name to the segment of highway located in the Village of Bradley, which is under the jurisdiction of the County of Kankakee, and whereas the Highway and Buildings Committee of the Kankakee County Board did consider and approve the resolution at the regularly scheduled meeting on September 14th, 2017. Now, therefore, it be resolved, the County of Kankakee declares Armour Road, CH 44, between Locke Drive and Cardinal Drive, located in the Village of Bradley, be honorarily named Sergeant Wilford Ray Lewis Drive. Be it further resolved that the Village of Bradley be permitted to erect at suitable locations consistent with state and federal regulations the appropriate signs giving notice of the honorary name. Then it be adopted and passed this 10th day of October 2017. Signed by the chairman.
Yes. Good morning. Thank you for having me here. I want to first thank Lori Gadbois and Mark here for their help with getting this going. This is a pretty complicated process, but this started back many years ago. In my travels throughout the state, I would always come across signs that portions of roadways and bridges were dedicated to fallen officers. And I often would ask myself, well, why not in Bradley? Why isn't Wilford Ray Lewis remembered? Because he did give his life for his community on the 20th of November, 1997. It's a phone call that I'll never forget. So this is very important for me, but also for my department. And most of our department right now never has met Will Lewis. But the proud tradition of honoring those police officers that have fallen in the line of duty is deep rooted in the police traditions. And we think that by presenting a portion of roadway and dedicating the bridge, working with the Illinois Department of Transportation, would be a great way to honor and remember Will. We want people to know that a man gave his life there serving others.
Thank you. Okay, I need a motion to accept. Mr. Lear, Mr. Tripp. Oh, you have a question?
Get the motion on the floor.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. All those, Mr. Lejes and Mr. Tripp? Now, discussion.
I certainly support the resolution, but I'm a little like to be a little educated in terms of how is it that a highway under the jurisdiction of the county is in the village of Bradley? Would Mr. Rogers explain that, please?
The county highway system was, when it was created, the village of Bradley probably wasn't touching that. But the law says that when a village annexes property, if it is a county highway, it stays a county highway. If it's a township road, the village automatically gets the township road jurisdiction and maintenance, but not a county highway. So it does stay within the county jurisdiction.
Okay, I know this is all very confusing, to me at least. So I assume that the village has still been responsible for or do we have to?
Yes, we have maintenance and jurisdiction of Armour Road. Now, we do have an agreement with the village when we do improvements, and when we do a major improvement, since we really do not take care of urban streets, we make an agreement with the village. Okay, we'll maintain the driving surface, but the village maintains the curb, gutter, storm sewer, and sidewalk, but we still maintain jurisdiction.
Thank you. That clarifies a lot for me.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we had a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, folks.
Very much.
Okay, the second one, Mr. Rogers is going to explain that one.
Okay.
And do we need to have a waiving of the reading?
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion, somebody make a motion to waive the reading of this total one in the record. Motion, Mrs. Polk, second. Mr. Ritter. Okay. Mark?
All right. Before you is a resolution authorizing the board chairman to execute an agreement for the Illinois Public Works Mutual Aid Network. There should be a little pamphlet that I obtained from a Mark Dorfler from IPW Man, they call it, or IPA Man. This is a mutual aid agency that is in kind of all corners of the state, but his main message to I was at a presentation was, it's not a matter of if a disaster is going to strike, it's when. IPW Man started when several groups within the state of Illinois realized that they were trying to develop a regional mutual aid organization, and it became apparent that if a disaster hit a region, regional organizations would not be able to provide assistance outside their own jurisdiction. So IPW Man was established in 2009. They currently have over 300 agencies that participate in this organization. They respond to tornadoes, windstorms, blizzards, earthquakes, floods, infrastructure failures, terrorism events, anything that you can imagine that you would need more help than what you have resources for. February 28, 2017 was a prime example. The little town of Naplate, Illinois by Ottawa got hit by a tornado. It took out the LaSalle County Highway Department that was located near Naplate, but that little village did not have the resources for cleanup. They were a member of IPW Man. There were 22 agencies plus a debris management operations staff that were there for 5 days and provided over $350,000 worth of aid to that little community to get that community cleaned up. There is an agreement, which I think the agreement is attached. The state's attorney is looking at that, but I think 300 other agencies have signed the same agreement. Within the county of Kankakee, back in 2002, my predecessor put together a mutual aid agreement for all the townships in Kankakee County. So we have a mutual aid agreement within the county, but we don't have it outside the county. The authority with IPA Man is provided under the Illinois law. There's one standard agreement. We can cancel at any time. With the agreement, not only would we be able to ask for assistance, but we would be asked to give assistance. There's no obligation to respond. That was made clear, but of course, if somebody's in need, we're going to provide that that help. But with the agreement, it kind of covers liability in those circumstances. So when you do call for a response, they come in, they manage the resources, they have a list of resources that they have at their hands, and it is no cost for the first 5 days. So that was key. Now, with the population of the county being over 75,000, our dues would be $500 a year, which I think is very cheap insurance for something like this. But they made it clear that just because I'm getting it for the county of Kankakee, it would not include township roads, municipal streets, anything like that. It was only for the county highways. So I'm encouraging the other townships to join. The dues for a township are $100 a year if they're less than 15,000 population. So, and the only member of IPOMAN in Kankakee County is the Village of Manteno presently.
Okay, I'll make a motion, then we'll have discussion. Motion to accept this resolution. Mr. Lejess, Mr. Vickery. Now, discussion. Any discussion? Mr. Kinzinger.
I just saw this a few minutes ago, so I apologize for lack of understanding. But as I glance through this, it looks like there's no limit on the requested aid. For instance, if we have a complete disaster in Iroquois County, who makes the decision how much of our resources are sent to Iroquois County?
Well, we would. The county would.
So, and I'm not familiar with, I'm just new to this committee. I'm not familiar with what you exactly do, other than I know you're with the, I mean, we could put ourselves at risk if there's not some limitation on how much aid we can offer.
We can limit the aid. I mean, they
You
go
have
out
the
there-
right.
Yes, and you have the, yeah, we can even not respond at all if we didn't want to. But when it happened in Naplate, I contacted Mr. Wheeler and asked if we could lend them some trucks just to get them through, and we were going to do that if they requested. They never requested.
Second question, you mentioned something which perked my interest, covers liability. Discuss that a little more.
The liability with when you do when you go out and you help other communities, they want to make sure that the liability, for instance, if we send people over there, they're covered under our workman's comp insurance. They're covered under our insurance, not the community's insurance. So that's what.
Say that one more time, I missed it.
If our employees go to work at a site, if they get injured,
Volunteer to go work.
yes. If they get injured, they're under our workman's comp insurance. I believe that's what the agreement says.
And if we didn't have the agreement, we're still responsible.
Well, yeah, but we can't go and sue that other community for,
For that damage.
yes.
Subrogate back.
Yes.
What would be the disadvantage to that? I'm not certain where our liability is mitigated. That's what I'm really getting to.
I don't have an answer for that.
Any other questions? Ron? Mr. Olthoff?
Is there a Good Samaritan law in effect with
Yes.
something like this?
I do not know that.
Mr. Tripp?
Kind of the question I was gonna ask. I'm just wondering, you mentioned if a person goes over and volunteers, does your department volunteer him? He goes on his own?
No,
He's on his own?
we would send
Okay.
them over there, so
Okay.
they're under our,
Yeah, but if he goes on his own, even though he works for the county, he wouldn't be covered?
right.
Okay.
Mr. Wheeler?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's a few of those that have been answered that I had, but regarding the insurance side of it, there's two issues. There's the liability insurance on the equipment, and then there's the workers' comp on the employee. Because this is not a volunteer situation, they are on the job for us,
Yes.
and we are committing those resources to helping out people, as other people are committing those resources to help us out if we have
Correct.
that same situation. So it is a mutual aid situation. We just have to make sure that how does that impact our liability and work comp insurance rates, and those are things that we'll look at. But have you had any anecdotal information as far as, you know, they didn't see any jump because this is such a far-flung instance of,
I've not heard anything from any other county engineers that are members of IPW, man, no.
okay. My other question was, you know, we don't get any reimbursements, obviously, you know, for our man hours and things like that, because we wouldn't expect that in reverse. But what if federal disaster aid is issued to those areas? Do we get reimbursed just like they would for that aid?
Yes, after the 5 days, yes, they do take care of that paperwork. A big thing a big part of this is that they manage the resources and manage the paperwork.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Kinzinger.
Mark, if you could summarize this, what's the biggest advantage to you?
The biggest advantage to me after seeing what happened in Naplate was they got grapple trucks that just come in and they just clean up. We don't have that resource here. And they've got resource from 300 agencies at their fingertips to get that.
There's like 300 members right now?
Yes, over 300.
In Illinois? Or
in Illinois. Yes, it's only in Illinois.
That's probably the most important thing there is, what you just said.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is modeled after many fire departments and other entities who have mutual aid agreements. So, I mean, this is not a new thing. It's just a thing that now is in a different venue.
Yes.
So many of the fire departments, many other entities have mutual aid agreements. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vickery. Any other questions? Mr. Wheeler.
Thank you. Just a statement. We probably should, if we are going to make the motion to approve, it will be pending the state's attorney review.
That was going to be
Just
in
note
my
it.
motion.
Note it.
And he does have that.
Yeah, I think he does, so. Okay, the motion is that we accept this as read upon approval from our state's attorney. Okay, we had a motion.
I would first do roll call to the fee involved.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't paid the fee yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, we need a roll call then. But there was a first and a second. So just Mr.
Mr. McConnell.
Aye.
Mr. Tripp.
Aye.
Mr. Legess.
Aye.
Mr. Vickery.
Aye.
Mr. Olthoff. Ms. Polk. Mr. Mulcahy. Mr. Einfeld. Ms. Weber. Ms. Parker. Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mr. Kinzinger. Mr. Wheeler.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Rogers before he departs? Okay. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
Mr. Gadbois.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Morning. Facility due report, we had 174 work orders in the month of August. That's quite an increase. We typically run about 135. So we've seen a pretty big increase in people requesting work be done. So that's a good thing, and they were completed. The financial report you have before you. Our typical month for maintenance, it usually runs about $15,000 is about our average spending. You'll see that it's $34,000, and I have a few things here to explain why. We did buy that new lawnmower at $4,700. We had to replace some capacitors in the battery backup systems out at Jerome Combs of about $1,700. We had a compressor at the annex building go out. That was $8,500. I had a compressor at the old jail go out. That was $5,500. And I had a roof repair at the old jail also for $1,695. So that accumulates to the increase in the monthly spending. So anybody who'd like to see a more itemized detail, I have those. Anybody who'd like to see them.
Mr. Tripp.
This brings a question in my mind. Are we maintaining these air compressors regularly? I mean, they need their oil check, they need belt checks, they need a whole bunch of things.
They are being checked, but they're
Every 90
40
days.
But they're 40 years old too.
Well, I understand that, but
A compressor is
that
belts and
wasn't my
filters.
question. I have a question, are we maintaining them? Doesn't
best
matter how
we
old
can.
they are, but if
Yeah.
they're maintained properly, that's fine.
Yes, they are.
We absolutely are. Every 90 days, belts and filters are checked and changed, greased. I have documents on all units indicating such. They have to sign that paperwork indicating that they have done that work.
Right.
So I have, yes, we are on top of it.
That's on
just
school
a
day.
question.
Yep, that's fine. Okay.
Any questions on finance? We'll move on to the building report. Last month, we met with the state's attorney and the county board chairman with Enernoc. Enernoc is the company we use. I'll go over this briefly. Our generators, we have 6, 4 of which qualify to be under the Enernoc program. What happens is, in the event of Commonwealth Edison needing us to go off the grid, we take our generators off of the grid and are paid a monthly stipend by Enernoc to be on standby for this program. We just extended the contract 2 years. The county board chairman and the state's attorney worked through that with Enernoc, and currently we receive about $16,000 a year. That number could go up as we just did our what they call the PJM. That's our performance for emergency load response program. We accomplished this in August. Our Kankakee County Administrative Building was 100% in our load reduction. At the Annex Building, we had a 182% load reduction from Commonwealth Edison, and at the County Sheriff's Department, we had 114%. I've contacted Enernoc asking them to review their numbers for what they considered the kilowatt reduction as compared to what we did. We outperformed their estimates. So I'm having them take another look at this and see if we can increase our payments, but that won't happen until April of next year. They do that on an annual basis per this program. So they'll be taking a look at this. There's a good chance next year we could easily increase some of that money based on what we've done. It was a great job done by our staff here. They did everything they needed to do. People were notified, and we got this thing taken care of. And we got an attaboy from Enernoc as to the performance that we did here. So it was
And that's over a 2-hour period that we have to shut things off.
right. We typically turn off the power to the buildings at 3 o'clock. We run it till about 5:15, and then they contact us and say, okay, we're good to go. So that happened, and it was all done very, very well, handled very well by our staff. So I compliment all of them. I'll go into the building report. Again, the Enernoc PJM report I talked about. I have one more AC unit out here on the roof that needs to be, we're waiting on the compressor. As soon as that gets here, we'll get that fixed. Although we're starting to move into heating system. Speaking of which, I have my guys going through all of our boilers right now, cleaning, getting them all ready to go. I have boiler inspections that are due. Courthouse was just completed, and we're moving forward with all of that. All of our equipment, our boilers are all in really decent shape. We haven't had any issues with them, so we'll keep an eye on those. The courthouse rotunda, as you know, the courthouse rotunda got hit by lightning. We had a major leak there. I got a hold of a gentleman down at the Illinois State Historical Preservation Office, as we're required to do since it is on the National Register. I spoke with Darius, is the gentleman's name. He was recommending specifying that repaired, restored, repainted areas must replicate and match adjacent conditions. We are not modifying this in any way. Let me make that clear. Aside from that, I believe the proposed scope of work should meet the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation. He did ask me to contact the National Historical Preservation Agency in the state of Illinois, which I did. I received an email back yesterday. This is an email follow-up in regards to the earlier conversation in regards to work being performed at the Kankakee County Courthouse. When a project involves state or federal funds, permits, or licenses under State Law 20, Illinois CS 3420, or federal law, as amended and is implementing regulations, protection of historic properties, our agency has to be afforded an opportunity to review its impact on cultural resources. What they're telling us here is if we're taking state or federal money, we then have to notify them. They have to review everything we're going to do and then get back to us on how we can proceed. If this project does not involve any of these above referenced funding, permitting, licensing sources, even if the property is in the National Register of Historic Properties as an individual listing or in the historical district, then the project does not need to be reviewed by this office. She did indicate to me if we need more information, they'll be happy to send it. We talked in length about what we were going to do, and they kind of gave us a pass on anything we need to do to move forward. So we're good to go on this.
Mr. Tripp?
Question, seeing these kinds of things take a lot of time, are we in the drive temporarily?
Yes, absolutely. I had the roof. The roof's been repaired.
Okay.
The hole. There is a hole in the top of the dome, and there was some paint damage along the side. We're going to go ahead. They got to scaffold this thing, and it's going to be quite an endeavor up on that third floor. So yes, absolutely. We have no wets. We have nothing wet anymore. So we're in the clear here. I have notified the painting company. We did quote this project out, both through the insurance company and locally. It's about $28,000 to complete this work, which a good majority of this is scaffolding. It's the big portion of the bill. So,
Mr. Wheeler first.
Just to clarify, was the federal fund requirement just for the repair, or was it if the county receives federal funds for anything, do we have to go through this?
if it's registered, if it's logged onto the register as a historical site, which it is, and we receive funding, it's a totally different way we have to approach this. Paperwork has to be submitted to the state of Illinois.
And it's not funding just for that building. We're talking about funding for anything.
Any projects you do that are on the historical register only. Now this building, if we receive federal funding, it's not on the historical
My
register.
question is if we receive federal funding for another program that doesn't involve the courthouse, because we do receive federal funding for grants and things like that.
No, she was
I wanna
very,
make sure.
no, project specific is what she said to me yesterday. So,
Okay, all right.
yeah, because I kept asking the same question. I didn't want to get caught up in that. So I asked several times, is this okay to go with, even though we receive federal funds at other locations? She said yes. So, and she said she would, if you want more information, be happy to, you can call her and talk to her. They're very, very helpful. So,
Mr. Olthoff?
Insurance covered this?
yes, the insurance is, we have $10,000 deductible per claim. This is running, I want to say this is running about 40,000, there's about $40,000 worth of damage at the courthouse. So we just completed the tower strike with our insurance, with Ryan Insurance. That was about a $28,000 repairs that we needed to do. He just emailed me yesterday about that, wanting to clean that one out. The water damage was also done, and now we're working on the courthouse. That'll be the last project. Yes, they're all under, but they all fall individually $10,000 deductible per site. Per site. So just so we're clear there. Yes, they divide them up by address. So the insurance has given me a go on this, so I'm going to go ahead and move forward, Mr. Wheeler.
I just want to remind the committee that this would have been happened with any insurance that we have. And we saved like $450,000 by the insurance change. So we upped the deductible and saved a lot of money. And so this is well within the bucket of taking on more risk, but we saved a lot of money by the changes they made. So I just want to mention that.
Mr. Kinzinger?
Insurance companies always like to say there's several different events, but we were struck by one bolt of lightning or two bolts of lightning.
Each one was an individual strike.
Okay.
The courthouse was a hit, the tower was a hit, and then also at Jerome Combs, we had a hit there. This were all within 2 weeks of each other, and they were all verified. The insurance company can verify when lightning strikes now. I mean, they got it down. So, speaking of that, the Jerome Combs Detention Center is not covered under the same policy as the rest of our buildings. That's covered under Chubb Insurance through the Kankakee County Building Commission. I'm working with them, Chubb Insurance, and taking care of those cameras, swipe cards, telephone boards, and all those things that were out there as well. In fact, I'm cleaning all that up today. They want to close out that out at Jerome Combs. We've got it taken care of. I just got to finish submitting the paperwork. So we're working on that as well. That was another $25,000 in damage out there. So I'm I'm trying to push all this through, and once I get it all done, we'll start receiving checks from the insurance company. They're trying to close this stuff out. So, at the old jail, you guys had approved, the building committee had approved the replacement of the elevator hydraulic system. Kone Elevator notified me 2 days ago. They have the equipment. They're ready to make the change. I'm trying to get that scheduled up. So I have that going on. I'm working on heating right now. Like I say, we're going through boilers, circulating pumps, all those things. I'm 2 months ahead of everybody else on most of this stuff, snow removal equipment. We're bringing all that in and starting to get it ready to go for the winter. I have some roof problems over at the courthouse around the base of the dome. I have Langlois coming out to take a look at this. We have a roof leak there. It's not leaking into the building. It's just leaking through into the insulation. So I'm having them take a look at that. I don't know where we are with that. They're going to take a look. Annex building, we're in good shape. Public safety and Jerome Combs, Johnson Controls have been in touch with us here. They're getting ready to do the computer stuff out of Jerome Combs. I have that contract up in the state's attorney's office now. They're reviewing that. As soon as they get back to me, there's a couple of questions they had about a couple of things there. They're going to get it squared away and they'll let me know. That's about it. Repairs from the insurance company. That's about all I have. Things are going pretty well. I did bring on one staff member yesterday to replace the loss of our mechanic one. I did reduce. I haven't been able to find anybody that wants to work here for what we'll pay them to work on heating and air conditioning. We just don't pay enough money to get. I have no applications. I have no applications. So with that being said, I hired a mechanic too, just to fill a hole. I have vacations coming up the next 3 months that are gonna slaughter me here for the next 3 months is when most of my guys take vacations. So we're gonna be short staffed through Christmas, and then we'll pick back up again in January. So
We got the morgue fixed too, right?
the what?
Morgue has been fixed.
The morgue's been repaired. M&M Sheet Metal went there. They had some noise problems during autopsies. That exhaust fan was just awful loud. M&M Sheet Metal, and thank you for taking care of that. Pat McConnell went over and got M&M Sheet Metal. They put a baffle in there. They said they've cut that, reduced that noise in that morgue by half. So they're very happy over there as well. And so that was taken care of as well. So thank you for your help with that. Other than that, I don't have anything else.
Declaration of surplus.
Your surplus.
I don't have the resolution. I submitted a declaration of surplus for some office chairs. When we moved the state's attorney's office, we had
Just read what you have. Look at the resolution.
25 office chairs, 2 metal desks, 2 wooden bookcases, and a metal shelving unit. They were all shot. I have the chairs and tables downstairs. I'd like to get rid of them, so I just need a motion to approve. Make it go away.
We'll get the resolution later.
Yeah, we'll get the resolution for the board.
Okay.
The motion then.
We don't need a motion then.
Yes, we do.
For this, right now? Oh, okay. We need a motion to move, what do we need a motion for?
We're gonna get the resolution.
We need a motion to get the resolution.
A motion to approve the surplus items.
We gotta approve this. Okay, you got that? Everybody got that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We need a motion to approve what is on your list of 25 chairs and so forth. The motion, Mr. Olthoff? Somebody else? Mr. Einfeld? All in favor? Opposed? Okay. It's confused. Okay.
Old business, parking lot at the old jail. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. He's taking care of that for us. And that's due to, we're gonna move on that when he says. So I'll wait for him to tell me when.
Any other old business? Mr. Legess?
Just let the committee know we're in contract negotiations with the Teamsters, which is Brian's employees. So,
Any new business? Mr. Wheeler?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to bring it to the attention of the committee, and I'm gathering information, and we'll bring something back. Not sure if it will be this committee, it might be PZA as well. Just a short story, maybe 6 months ago, there was a presentation over at the library on a city of Kankakee. I was working with the Economic Alliance on creating a historical district in downtown Kankakee. It involved a lot of buildings that were either contributing to the district or non-contributing. They were in the district, but they weren't of historical significance or been altered in a time frame of such that they would be, eligible to be part of a historic district. There's a lot of real positive reasons to do this, and I'm going to get some people here, probably Lisa Wogan from the Economic Alliance, to explain that. But there's tax incentives, credits that are available to businesses that want to do improvements to their building within a historical district, you know, and maintain that. And there's a lot of good reasons to have these. In that original presentation, though, the county building was not part of that. And, you know, so that was, I asked the question, and they specifically said because there was facade improvements done on this building, there was another floor put on it, so it wasn't included. Well, I received notification that it was going to be submitted, and the county building and the old VAC building were both included in that. I have concerns because that's why I asked about the federal money question to Brian, because if in fact we receive federal money in this building, I need to clarify this and make sure that if we have to do a renovation, if part of the facade falls off the front, if we need to replace a window, does it have to be the windows that exactly were done in 1950 whatever on this building? There is no benefit for the county beyond saying we're in a historical building. There's only liability because we don't get tax credits. So I'm looking out for the taxpayers and for the county, even though, as I've told people, my great-great-grandfather was on the bank board and his money went into building this. So I have a soft spot for the building itself. It's not like you know, what if we want the whole block into build a new county complex if we're solvent in 15, 20 years? You know what I mean? So I have to look forward, not just for today. So I don't want to put my finger in the eye of the Historical Preservation Committee, but I have to think about the taxpayers and the county's interest in this as well. So I'll bring more information back as I get more information. I've been in discussion with the Alliance on this. So I just need to let you know what's going on, and whether it's PZA and then this committee or whichever it ends up being, we'll get more information.
Thank you. Any other business? Hang on. Just,
Can you, if they declare, let's say you own a building, they declare it part of the historical, can you opt out of that?
Those are questions that I can't answer right now. I think you can, but that's why I want to have the Economic Alliance, who contracted with an architect to put this together. I want them to come in here and tell me what is going on. Yeah, what you can and can't do. I think you can. What I think you can do is it doesn't affect you unless you apply for money from the federal government for grants and to do those things, just what Brian had said. But we need to be very careful on what we do with our property here, because we have no real benefits. You don't get tax credits because obviously we don't pay taxes as a governmental entity. There's only a downside that I see for the county, but I want to make sure of that before we go forward. It's just a situation, and they were submitting it. I was notified of it. So I want to bring information back, but right now I just have concerns. Good. And maybe there are people who in the room that have experience in this area that could shed some light on it, but I'm looking to the Alliance because they partnered with the city of Kankakee to do it.
Mr. Kinzinger.
I'd like to encourage Chairman Wheeler to move cautiously. It can be very expensive to get into a historical preservation, and I appreciate what he said and what Mr. LaJust said. My comment relates to the way we get information. And I'm not certain this is the proper venue. This is my first committee meeting, and I'm impressed, always been impressed with Brian and Mark. So I think we have great leadership. But for us to make informed decisions in these meetings, we need anything that requires thoughts before the meeting. We can't make an informed decision in 1 hour. We all have access to electronic copies. I would like to see anything that requires thought in our hands at least 24 hours before we have to make a decision.
Pardon? Okay.
Well, Brian provides his own reports, so if he could get it to me.
A report is not a problem. You know, you're making a report, an informed report. It's when you're requesting us to make a decision, those types of things we need to have in our hands before we walk into this meeting.
Yeah, Andy and I can discuss that.
Most of the time, I would say, if not all of the time, we prepare packets of information with the agenda. The full board definitely has all of the supporting documentation that when it goes from that situation. But I do appreciate your comments, and at times I've felt that way in the past where we would walk in and be handed a document that was 10 or 20 pages long, and we're trying to read through it very quickly. So we will do our best to get that to you. I think maybe this IPW man situation might be part of that. I don't think that was sent out in an email before the meeting, the actual agreement. So we'll request that of everybody that's coming to these meetings. I think it's a worthwhile discussion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other roll call?
Motion to adjourn would be in order?
No, it's not order.
I won't second. I heard about